something big is happening or about to happen to, well, the markets, Bitcoin, everything. We have the Fed meeting this week. The Bitcoin chart's looking very juicy. We're going to be diving into all that in this video. So the first thing we have to talk about, the Federal Reserve is meeting on November 2nd, just before the midterms. Very good timing. They're going to announce their next interest rate hike. Everyone is expecting 0.75%, which, because we're expecting it, may not have that big of an impact on the markets. 0.5% though, if it happened, not very likely, but if it does happen, will be pretty gosh darn bullish, right? So maybe they bring in a 0.5% interest rate hike to pump markets just before the midterms to try and influence people to go and vote for the blue party, right? However, a 0.5% raise probably wouldn't be the appropriate thing in terms of getting inflation down. The Fed's target is 4.75 to 5% approximately. So interest rates will continue to rise into next year. We should be expecting that to continue to happen. We're watching out for the impacts of that. But that is the big variable, I think, in this week's news stories, right? Now, JP Morgan came out and said that a dovish Fed could actually spark a 10% S&P 500 rally. So even dovish language, not even necessarily the lower interest rate hike, could spark a nice little rally here for stocks. Stocks currently sitting very interesting area, basically waiting to see what the heck the Fed says this week. We did see, of course, this nice rally coming in over the last few weeks here, but trading on Friday ended right here at key price resistance at 3,900. Currently, the price has not gone back up over that. We're trading just below it. I think the market will be in a moment of anticipation, waiting to see what the Fed does and how they react to what's been going on over the last few weeks. So a rejection here for the S&P 500 would probably spell bad news for all risk assets. Yeah, and that includes Bitcoin, right? So this is something very important to watch. Bit of good news though before we get into the Bitcoin charts. $512 billion asset manager Apollo now offering Bitcoin and crypto custody for institutions. Yet another major asset manager, another major financial institution getting on board the Bitcoin train. We've had so many stories like this during this bear market. It's been absolutely absurd how much interest remains in Bitcoin, especially throughout the depths of this bear market. Now, before we get into talking about Bitcoin, just a reminder, if you don't have an account yet over on Bybit, you need to get yourself one. 0% fees on all spot trading pairs and up to $4,450 in deposit bonuses using that link down below. Find out why over 10 million users trade on Bybit. Check it out using the first link in the description. Now, let's take the 4-hour charts to get started off with here. We'll go up to the 1 day and the 1 week as we go through the charts here. But look at this. 4-hour charts here for Bitcoin. Right now, we are in danger of a double top scenario potentially playing out. Now, a double top scenario, that's a bearish chart pattern. The potential breakdown target from this would actually be down here in the lower $19,000 range, around $19,250, $19,000 approximately. So that gets triggered if the price of Bitcoin drops below $20,000, right? So here is the neckline, this blue line right here, that's our neckline. If the price starts trading under that, that then gives us a situation where the price is likely to move down to that lower $19,000 range. That's the breakdown target for the double top. Now, if we look for an invalidation point here, that is at $21,000. So if the price can rally up above and move higher, then we can see a potential invalidation of this double top thesis forming up on the 4-hour charts, and then go on to talk about some new interesting price targets potentially moving forward. So we'll keep an eye on this pattern. One interesting thing though is that the price currently has bounced at a very curious place, which is right here on this orange line, right? So you can see the move starting back here on the 21st of October. We are keeping the uptrend going for that, right? So that's where the move started after that big sell-off that got us down to $18,700. Ever since then, we have seen the price rallying upwards, right? And we have kept on that line up until this point. The move down on the 31st only got us down to touch that line, currently staying above it. So we'll see how that goes, if that uptrend momentum can continue. One interesting thing I want to note here for you on the daily charts is that currently the price is sitting right on support. So $20,500 was a big area for us in terms of breaking out of the range, right? We've been stuck in the range between $18,500 and $20,500 for months now. We have come up to break above that. We are currently testing that as support. Now, if we can bounce here, that's technically bullish, right? Come up, you have your breakout moment, come back down to retest that line of resistance as a line of support, bouncing higher, right? We shall see if we can perform that feat or not. We do want to see 20,500, though really holding 20,400, let's say, as our daily candle closes. That would give us that kind of base to try and push higher. Now, if we take a look here at the weekly charts, the one line really that still, I think, defines so much of the market is this top line on the chart right here. You see, this is the main downtrend line. It lines up around $25,000, let's say approximately right now, if we assume the price continues upward over the next few weeks. That would line us up with around $25,000, $26,000. Now, until we break over this line, I'm not going to get too early in talking about a trend reversal, right? We could be starting to see the initial movements of a trend reversal. We still have a lot of macro factors working against us throughout the upcoming winter. Interesting, though, to note as well, we do have this RSI downtrend here on the weekly. We talked about that last week, of course. But we can see just here, it's right now just testing into that downtrend line. Hasn't made a definitive move up above it yet, but definitely something interesting and worth watching. That could be a major reversal if we get some really definitive movement out of that. We can also, of course, take a look here at the MACD, which is making a nice little move along here on the weekly chart, still in that nice little uptrend. If we take a quick look at the monthly chart on that as well, we could potentially be seeing a bottoming out here for the MACD on the monthly, where we start to see a potential trend reversal forming up. So that's something interesting to keep an eye out on. If we are starting to see that trend reversal picking up some steam here after that previous monthly close, obviously we want to see that starting to trend up, but that's the monthly, right? By the time the monthly is trending upwards, the weekly and the daily will be long gone by that point. Anyway, just my thoughts for today. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.